What's up? Today we have 4 printers with 3 tests, all from old printers to new printers. Now let's stop the chatter because these layers matter.
Welcome back to the channel.
We'll be testing today is overhang. We'll be testing speed, and no, not that speed. And we'll be testing the speed of the nozzle as it's heating up on each of these printers. Let's get at it.
We're going to use a ranking chart from S to F on a cool elemental format. The Ender 5 Pro is the first one that we got, and the Ender 3 V3 Plus is the newest one that we've gotten. It was really fun running these tests to see which one would all have a better overhang at standard settings. This is one of the settings that it pains to dial in, but you have to dial it in, because once you get it dialed in, then you don't have to worry about overhangs inside of your parts when you go designing them. You know exactly what to do.
So here we have overhang and we have speed. We're going to take a look at overhang first, and this is for the Ender 5 Pro. And we'll see where to categorize that at for the overhang test. It looks like it did pretty good.
I'm going to go over here and give it a gold, and then let me know in the comments below what you would do if you would do a different rank with any of these. Again, let me know in the comments, but I'm going to do it as an A because I think it deserves an A.
Now let's move to the Ender 3 V3 Plus. For the speed that it did itself at, it seemed to do pretty good for the standard settings.
This still gets B. I think it was worse than what the Ender 5 Pro had. So we'll classify it here on B. Now, if we didn't do it on the standard V3 Plus's speeds, and we did it on the normal speed like the other printers, then it might be a difference. I might try that here in the future.
Now to move on to a older model, the Ender 3 Pro. And even the older model seemed to do pretty well at a standard setting at default settings. And this is on Cura, by the way.
I'm putting this in A tier because that overhang was legit, as well as the Ender 5 Pro. I really didn't see much of a difference. So old actually wasn't as bad as, you know, some of the newer models, at least for overhangs.
Elegoo Neptune 3, the overhang on that. And I don't know about you, but let me know if you think that's the worst one of all of them so far.
Now, I'm not going to classify it as F because I didn't think it did that bad. I am going to classify it as D though, because it does have a lot of work to do on its standard default settings. Let's see what Elegoo has to bring in the future, shall we? Now, with moving on to speed here, we did have one issue with the Ender 3 Pro on this. So we had a little bit at the beginning, but then it failed out later on. Once it got closer to these getting done, we could tell which ones were a little bit slower and which printers were a little bit faster. The real test is how detailed do these objects look at the speeds that they are going.
Now we'll move to speed. And now we're just talking about the speed that the nozzle is able to extrude and travel at. So it's just normal printing temperature and what speed it can tolerate for this model.
Between the Ender 5 Pro, the Ender V3 Plus, and the Ender 3 Pro, do you think that there's going to be any huge variables between any of them? You should let me know in the comments below.
The Ender 5 Pro, if you can see, at 100 millimeters a second, it had some ringing, and we can see that it had it at some 60 millimeters a second too. 20 millimeters was almost perfect. You can barely see any ringing, but we really don't want to be running at that slow speeds. So probably about 80 for the Ender 5 Pro on an older model.
D, why? Because default setting, I have 20 millimeters a second for a great looking part. Unacceptable.
Now for the Ender 3 V3 Plus, we had this one from 100 to 200 for the speed. And we can tell again that there was a lot of ringing coming up on the top side here. And as you get lower and lower and lower, it gets higher quality. So I'd say if you want really good quality, 100 to about 120. If you want something quick, 200 millimeters a second for the Ender 3 V3 Plus.
Now this is totally going in the S tier. I can definitely live with a 100 to 120 millimeter part, that's for sure.
Now for the Ender 3 Pro, it failed, and we have to go check out why it failed and why it's not working at the moment. So that test will be maybe later on in the future.
We're not going to go ranking this because this didn't get really a fair test. Doesn't need to get ranked if it didn't get a fair test.
The next test we had was for the Elegoo Neptune 3 for speed, and we could tell that the ringing on this was really bad. So 100 millimeters, no, 60 millimeters, no, 40 millimeters, meh, 20 millimeters. And again, we probably don't want to be printing at those speeds, but if we have to do detail, then that might just be what we need. But right now, I think we'll stick with the Ender 3 V3 Plus for the winner of this for speed. Which one do you think was the winner with overhang? Do you think it was the Ender 3 V3 Plus, or do you think it was the Ender 3 Pro? Let me know in the comments below.
We're going to place the Elegoo Neptune 3 at D. It just had a lot of ringing, and again, 20 millimeters a second just can't hold up. Here, we're testing the time it takes for each printer to get up to 210 degrees Celsius. We have to give the Ender 5 Pro definitely an A here. The Ender 3 V3 Plus kind of psyched me out at the beginning. It started out slow, and then it got really fast at the end. So, you know what that means. The Ender 3 V3 Plus definitely gets S tier on this. It sped up so fast, a minute, but let's speed up through the Ender 3 Pro. At a minute 31 for the Ender 3 Pro, we'll put it at D. That took a long time. 115 would probably be my median. Last but not least, we have the Neptune Elegoo 3, and this one took the longest, so I probably won't be using this printer much if I need something really fast. A minute 59, I don't think I could wait that long. This one is definitely getting slapped with an F. All in all, between the Ender 3 V3 Plus, the Ender 5 Pro, and the Ender 3 Pro, we had a toss-up on some different variables with some of the tests going on here.
Definitely do more tests with more printers in the future, so stay tuned for that. If you liked any of this content, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you in that next video. Peace.